Alright, quick update before we get into the project for today. There is no update. I haven't really done anything with this. The video with this will be air tonight for me, so hopefully somebody will watch that and can have some suggestions about troubleshooting this, because right now I have no idea what to do. I'm leaning toward, if you haven't watched that video, this is a Sega Genesis Model 1, and it powers on, but it doesn't boot. So go watch that video, and maybe comment if you have any insight onto this. I'm leaning toward it being a CPU issue or the RAM, the work RAM, but I have no idea. I did get some flux. I got some chip quick from iFixit, so I may go through and reflow these pins on each of those chips. Probably a lot of the pins on there. I don't think I'm gonna. I had thought it might be a capacitor issue, and I thought about doing a recap on this. I may still do that just to see if I do that. I will definitely make a video out of that. But I do have. I got the Oxid as well, and I tried once again to clean the cartridge slot. So it's definitely not the cartridge slot. And I have the video game store where I got the Model 2 that was broken, and this the PlayStation 1 that was broken, that actually neither of them were broken. They have this version of a Model 1 that my friend purchased for me. It's a bit of a drive away. It's like 3.5-4 hours away, so hopefully this week I'll have some time to go down and visit him. He's got some other consoles for me too, so that'll be cool. But I don't know if I will. When I get another console, then I can, it'll be a little bit easier to troubleshoot this one, whether it's working or not. I think it'll make it a little bit easier to troubleshoot this one. At the very least, we'll get a diagnosis on it, just like the Game Boy DMG. But yeah, enough about this guy. We will eventually, today I gotta move this guy. This is for my Halloween costume. Let me know if I can identify this. If you know what my costume is gonna be. It's the glue's drying right now, but let me move this out of the way and we'll get started on today's project. I forgot to credit the creator of this 3D print. I did not design this. I got this off of printables.com. It's by a maker called Micro Center. Yeah, Micro Center. I got, like I said, from printables.com is where I got this one. Very, very nice print. Props to this one for this prop. Alright, today, as the title and or thumbnail suggested, I've got a bunch of Nintendo controllers here that work for the most part, but they are very dirty, very grimy. And I'd like to clean them up a little bit. Most of them aren't responsive. I think I had one that I was using, probably this one, because it's the cleanest, mainly with my NES. And it works fine, I think. I think maybe there might be a little bit of, dirt on the D-pad, but the rest of these are very non-responsive. We're going to go through and play some games and demonstrate how unresponsive they are, and then we will tear them down. We'll clean up the shells because they, like I said, they are dirty, and then clean off the boards and the buttons, and hopefully get them back into good working order. Give them a nice refresh. I think we're gonna go with ice hockey. And in the last video I mentioned I do enjoy hockey games. I like this game, but I think this will be the best way to use all of the buttons. There's a lot of games that you could do that with, but I was thinking I was going to just do Mario, but then I'm like, you can't really test up, or you can test down, I guess. We can't really test up with Mario. So let's use ice hockey here. Okay, and this one also I can do 2 players at a time to test simultaneously. This is the one that, like I said, was working pretty much just fine. So we can go through. We can see the select button is working. Can you select with? I don't know. I don't think so. So we'll select 2 players here. Oops. Hold on a second. Select 2 players. Okay, this is the other controller I have plugged in, and I cannot move at all. I don't know if, like with the first player I can move, I can pick whoever, and then go up and down. But this one I cannot do anything with this. I don't think any of these can. I wonder if this control port works. We'll just get into it here real quick. Okay, so if you can see this, like, try to zoom in a little bit. It's switching my character here when I jiggle this. So I wonder if it's the control port or the controller. It seems to be working fine. Oh, okay. This feels loose. Okay, so I switched the control port. This one still isn't working. I can't get back out of the end to see that if it's doing the same thing, but you can see here it's not the control port, it's the actual controller. So I don't think we need to test this one any further because this one is real jacked up. Alright, I swapped out the second controller. This is the good working one again. In the first controller slot, I put this other one in to the second controller working spot just because I need something functional to get to the menu and everything. This one still works, as you can see. This is the the untested one. It looks like left and right work pretty good. Can I change anything with this? Okay. And there. Left and right, up and down. All the D-pad seem to be working. A looks like it works. Yeah, actually, I think this one seems like it's working pretty good. There is a bit of a tear on the cord here, and I think these are my childhood ones. I'm pretty sure, because I remember we had a hamster that chewed the start button on on both of these. I don't know if you really got to see that one, but yeah, they chewed the start button, and then I also think I remember because these two have paint on them as well on the cords. So yeah, I'm pretty sure these are my childhood controllers. Alright, let's test the last one here real quick. Okay, this one will do left and right poorly, but it's kind of hard to do. The D-pad seems very unresponsive here. They seem to work. Alright, yeah. Here we see the D-pad, it's working, but it's like really hard to press. B works. I don't know if you can. Let me see. I want to check start and select. I didn't check it on the last one, but I just want to check this one. Okay. It works, it's not responsive. The start does not work. Okay. Alright. Yeah. I figured as much, just varying degrees of responsiveness and unresponsiveness. So, I think I'm going to just, right here, we'll just switch camera positions, and then right here we're going to tear these down. And then get into a little bit of rattling in this one as well. I think I remember that too, because I used to get I'd get angry and just like, oh, I want to break the controller, because the games were very hard as a child. Still, they're very difficult. Alright, let's get this guy out of the way, we'll move cameras, and then we'll start tearing this stuff down. Okay, I got all the screws out except for this one, which is completely stripped out. Now, it was stripped before a little bit. If there was any chance of me getting it out, I stripped the rest of that chance away. I am going to keep trying to get it out here, but in the meantime, we'll open these guys all up and take a look inside here. Oh, this piece of plastic fell out of this one as I was working on it, trying to get it out. But yeah, I think we're just going to open these guys up here. This was the cleaner one of the lot. They all look, or this looks very clean, actually, but we will still go through and wash all the little bits and bobs, make sure it's super clean. We'll hit up the board here. Yeah, get everything put off to the side for a good scrubbing. There's still, so I don't know if you can see this dirt here. That was just from, like I said, I didn't open any of these. I just took the screws out, but they were, yeah, look at that. That's nice and gross. Let's see here. Yeah, board looks, well, there's like flux and stuff on the board. It almost looks like somebody was working on, like, resoldered that or something. Can't see it all. But because that middle one's real dull. I don't know. I don't remember which one this was. It looks like, because it's not chewed, it looks like the one we tested first that was like not working at all. So maybe somebody did work on that one at some point. I don't remember where these controllers came from. Oh, these are nice and gross. Look at that. Oh yeah. All that in there. Yeah. Nice and gross. I'm sure you can see some buildup on the pads too there. So I don't expect there's anything wrong with the boards here. I will clean all the boards up and stuff too, but because this one doesn't have any flux left over. They're all nice and shiny, whereas this one, that one is like real dull. So that might be, I mean, I think it's just dirt that is our issue here. And then this one also is very gross inside. Oh yeah, that's yummy. This one is my childhood. Okay, this one has a bunch of flux and stuff on it too, but the points are all very shiny. Like I said, this is my childhood one. I know for a fact. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I know I didn't solder stuff. I might have taken these apart before when I was a kid. Like, I probably stripped this screw originally when I was a kid. Because I liked to take things apart, but I was very bad at taking screws out and everything. Yeah, these are all real gross. Excellent. This definitely needed refreshed. So I'm going to keep trying to get this guy out. If I can, we will. Once I do, then we're going to move over to the bath and start bathing. No, I just realized too. This is my childhood one of, because of the chewed start button there, but I think this is the one that had the rattling, and the rattling is most likely this post. That's the screw post that came broken off. So I don't know, I might try to fix that with some stuff. But yeah, but back to this guy. Okay, I got it separated. Good news, got it separated. Bad news is I basically just ripped the back shell off. You can see there. that it is. It just ripped. The screw just ripped through this piece here. So it's still in there. Probably a better chance of getting it out now. But yeah, we'll get the screw out. Oh, look at this guy. Pull this guy out here. Yeah, this one looks cleaner. I wonder if, wait, was this the other one? I don't remember now, but look how nasty that is. That definitely needs a good clean. And oh yeah, this was the other one. Although I don't even remember now which ones were mine and which ones weren't. I do remember we did have a start button that was chewed, but I don't know if it was both of them or just the one. Excuse me, ups. But yeah, we'll get this guy out. I'm gonna get this screw out, and then we'll move over to the bath. Also, this post on this one, I think it goes like right here, was broken off. This just holds this holds the board. I think it holds the board, but also holds the, does it hold these ones? Maybe this goes no, this definitely goes. I don't know. It holds some stuff in place, so this post is also broken. I'm gonna put those ones I might be able to fix, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I got the screw out. It was in there so tight though that like you can see this. I don't want to push it too hard, but there's that crack there. But I thought it like, you know, snap, like that factory snap when you start loosening a screw. I thought that that's what that was, but it was actually a snap from the I think that was that board. I mean, it could have been the screw, but it was still so hard to get out the entire way, like using the pliers, just like, you know, quarter turn by quarter turn, as gently as I could. It was tough. Like there was no point at which I could just use my fingers to get it out. That's how it was. But anyway, so that's everything now. Yeah, like I keep saying, let's head over to the bath. Actually, we'll bring the little bath up here. Gotta put my bath gloves on. Okay, everything is rinsed and drying, and while everything's drying off, we will head back over and do the boards and cords. Clean them up. Okay, we got all the boards cleaned, and I wiped out the cables and stuff as well. There was some paint on a couple of them, but I hit it up with some IPA and it came right off. This board here has some of the carbon pads are coming off here, and I don't know how to fix that. If there is a way to like replace the carbon pads on there, otherwise this board, especially this button, it's not going to be very responsive. So I am going to start. I'm going to start putting everything back together, and I'm going to be putting like all the best parts together to make like a really good controller, and then going from there. So I'm going to end up with all the bad parts going together, and it's going to have a really crappy. It's probably going to be a crappy controller. I have this cord here. I'm going to fix this. I've got some. Shrink wrap tubing, heat shrink tubing. I'm gonna slide over there, and what I might actually do is desolder this cable from this board and use it for this board with the bad carbon pads. So like all the bad, like I said, all the bad stuff will be together. But I need to desolder this anyway to get the shrink wrap tubing on there. The heat shrink tubing, not shrink wrap, heat shrink. Yeah, so I'm going to start putting everything back together. It's all dry. And I also, in the process, I have some of these posts, and I'm going to try to put them back. I might use the, it was like kind of viral for a while, that baking soda and super glue method. If I have some baking soda, I've never tried it before. I want to see about doing that to get those posts back in. And there was a crack. The one post was still in on the one controller, but it is... But I'm hoping to strengthen that with this technique as well. And then also that the screw hole for the bottom of it blew out when I ripped the controller apart because I couldn't get that stripped screw out. So I might try to rebuild that as well. We'll see. I'll document everything as I'm going through, and then at the and then we'll yeah. But that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's get it all worked on then. I'm trying to get these out, but I was trying not to put too much heat. Like I wanted to just pull it out quickly. So I didn't end up melting. You can see here it's starting to melt this like sheathing around the wire. But it wasn't coming out, and I couldn't figure out why. So I wicked away the solder on these pins, and it looks like, I don't know if it's going to show up, but it looks like the pins that are in the board are kind of like those, like the pins that, like, you push them, they're kind of like, they're expanded out and you push them through a hole and they close when you push them through, and then they pop back open to sort of like lock them in. It kind of looks like that's what these are, but this one's like almost through. So I'm not sure. I might try to push it with the soldering iron, but again, I don't want to melt these any more than they are. I might have to add some heat shrink tubing, because this is starting to get like these are really kind of solid on here because they have their tubing still, but this guy's getting, because it's melting away, it's getting not to be as strong. And I'd like to, this is the cable I wanted. This is the good cable on the bad board. So I'm not concerned about, like, if I have to abandon this route, that's fine. But I want to try to preserve the integrity of these cables as much as I can. So I might try to push quickly through here, and then I might have to just throw some heat shrink tubing on these guys. But I started with this bad board because it's like, if I jack it up and like I said, I have to abandon this route. The other wires are still fine. I wanted to cover up that tubing. I can just cover it up with some electrical tape. It won't be as pretty, but it, shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I keep trying at this, and then if I can't get it out, then I can't get it out. Alright, so I got them out just by like pushing them out with my iron. They did come out. Now this one, I got most of the solder out of it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to push that back in unless I like pinched it with some pliers or something. Like, I don't think they're going to go back in. So I might have to just cut these clamps off, or these things off, and then just strip back the wire and just solder it directly to the board. Which it shouldn't be any different. Shouldn't be any different than how they were. And like they have these crimps in here to reduce stress. So I don't know what exactly these things are doing. Like, I don't know how they're not really providing it that much strength, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they are, but the wires aren't really moving. So yeah, I'm probably just I might try to shove them back through. If I can get the rest of the solder out, because a lot of these guys are still full of solder here, and if I can get the rest of them out, but yeah, like I said, I'll probably just end up cutting them off and stripping them back. Okay, so I just ended up crimping the ends of those little clamp thingy doohickeys, connector mobobs, and just to squeeze them down to get them to go back in the holes. Some of them broken, especially on the one I pulled out first. That got a little bit melty. Some of them, like the little legs on that, broke off, but I think we've got pretty decent connections going on here. It's not going to move around, like, because of the way it's kinked in the shell. It's not going to like really move around too much to break any of these connections, I don't think. But yeah, they both turned out much better. Much better indeed. Much better than I expected. I should say that. Should clarify that. So this is our bad board here. I'm really worried about, like, these probably aren't going to work at all, but we'll still give it a shot anyway. But yeah, now we can start putting the rest of it all back together. I think that's all the soldering. Oh yeah, we'll keep putting them back together, and then try to glue those posts back into place where we need to. All right, so we got some super glue, some baking soda, and I filled in this. I was trying to fill in this guy here where the back part pulled out, ripped out. So there was still half of it left, but I was trying to fill into the other half. I mean, it did something. I don't know how strong it's gonna be, and it looks a mess in there. But I don't know. We'll see. It's not terrible. The way I did it though was I cut a popsicle stick just to have something to hold down, and I used this parchment paper because the parchment paper, the glue doesn't stick to the parchment paper, and then I just clamped it down, just so I could have something behind it to fill up, and then I filled up. Just put a dollop of this stuff, and all I have is this. It's a super glue gel, so it's not runny like normal super glue would be. And it's kind of old, so I'm not sure how good it is. But then I filled it up with the baking soda, and then cleared away the excess. Once I built up enough in there, then I just flipped it over, and then filled up a little bit on here. Then I went through with my pin vise and re-drilled that hole with my pin vise. So yeah, like I said, once you have a screw in there, I don't think it's gonna be super noticeable. But when you look close, it looks like absolute trash, and I don't know if it's gonna be very strong. It's also like not flat in there, so like the screw will go in there and it'll probably provide some grip, but I think any amount of over tightening is going to rip that right out or something, or just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll try it. I still have to get the other posts glued back on. I don't know if I'm going to use baking soda or if I'm just going to super glue them. So I'm rebuilding like the worst controller now. That's this guy here. And it's going to have the wire, the cable with the heat shrink on it. But this one is the worst front plate, and unfortunately it's the one missing the post that lines up with this hole. So yeah, I think I'm either going to use I'm either going to use the baking soda glue trick on here to see how strong that feels. Because that'll all be pulled. Or I prefer using E6000. That's like kind of my go-to glue. But that takes a long time to cure, and I don't know if I feel like waiting that long. Is this one? Also very, like, I'd have to hold it in place while it cured. So yeah, probably gonna have to be the glue. The super glue baking soda trick. All right, let's see if this is holding. I mean, it built up a little bit around there, which is good. I also noticed that I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the board
kind of starts here, and then it is kind of cracked under behind this peg as well. Which could be from the cable being put in there, just a little bit. I noticed the other board was like that too. You can see that crack, the hairline crack there. At least I think that's not a hair, is it? No, it's definitely a crack. Okay, so I built up. I had to like use a toothpick to sort of like I glued the peg down, and then I had to use a toothpick to fill in around it with some more glue, and then I just dumped all that baking soda on it. I hope it's straight, which it probably isn't, because otherwise that screw is gonna not go in straight. And whatever. Like I said, this is the bad controller now. It's definitely just bad and getting worse. Did I get glue on there? I hope I didn't get glue on there. I don't think that's glue. I think that's marks. All right. Yeah, I'll clean that up a little bit more, and then I think we'll assemble the bad one. The only thing that left to get glued is this peg, which is this peg here, and that definitely is neat. That's to hold the grommet for the D-pad, or the grommet. That's to hold the membrane for the D-pad into place. So that will need to go on. I don't remember which one that goes on. All right, this guy, unfortunately, I mean, it's not that bad, but this guy's one of the better faces that I have. But it had this peg, the top of this peg, just like, yeah, not this base part, but the top part was broken off. And then it was missing the whole peg here. So I got them back on. These it feels pretty like strong. I'm not really putting too much pressure on it, but it's not really moving or anything. This one is similar. And I don't know if the baking soda is really doing anything, honestly. The Gorilla Glue that I use is pretty strong normally. I think this just cures it instantly. It might provide a little bit more resilience, because I tried to build up along the sides here where it was cracked, and then throw a little baking soda in there to try to give it a little bit more like mechanical strength, I guess. We'll see. This guy's like definitely not on straight, but I don't think I should be an issue. Well, maybe it will be, because I think the board sits on there, and I might have to file down a little bit to get the board to sit just right. We'll see. But yeah, let's. I think that's it for all the gluing and everything. So we can now just start assembling, putting them all back together. Also, as I'm assembling this, I will be taking the contacts on the membranes and cleaning them by rubbing them onto a clean sheet of printer paper, just to make sure that they are as clean as they can. They can be clean as they can be. And also, if I didn't mention already, some of the membranes, as I was cleaning them, not this one, but some of the membranes, they're starting to rip where the buttons are, and I will be using those on the bad controllers, but I will probably be getting some replacements for those anyway. All right, they're all put back together. Let's get the Nintendo back out and test them to make sure they're working, or still working, or newly working. Yeah. All right, we got Nintendo hooked up. We still got ice hockey in. We're gonna start with testing the best one, because I think this one is mainly made of parts that from the one that was already working. Start works. The D-pad seems to work. Let's just get into a game real quick. I've always been terrible at this game, I think. D-pad seems to work just fine on this character here. Whoop. Okay. All right, next controller. I think this one still works just fine. So let's test the next one. All right, this is the second best one. The second best one and the third best one were pretty similar. I think this probably looks better overall. I'm not sure about how the performance will be. Start works, select works, start works. Get into a game here. Do. A works. D-pad seems to work nicely. Icing. I can never remember if usually in hockey games A is pass and B is shoot, but I always feel like this one is backwards. Regardless, it seems like all the buttons are working. Get the puck. Okay, that's enough. That one seems like it's working perfectly, absolutely perfectly. I was gonna actually change to a different game, but the Muppet is currently sleeping on the box where I keep all my games currently. So, and I didn't want to disturb him because he looks so freaking cute. So we're gonna stick with ice hockey. Okay, third controller. This one is cosmetically starting to deteriorate. I can't see it here, but this is one of the ones because two of them have bites out of the start buttons, and then it's got some scuffs on the actual face of it. So other than that, it seems like it's pretty fine. Doodle-doo. They also feel a lot better now too, I think. That could be my imagination. Alright, D-pad seems to be working. A works. B works. What is it saying? A is pass and B is shoot. Okay, yeah, this one works. Feels good. I might give these like another test. Like, like I said, once Mops gets out of the way, I will probably test it with another game that's a little bit more intensive. I just wanted to see the responses on them, just to make sure we get responses. Alright, so now we have the last one here, and this one is the worst one. This is the one I used the cables that I put that heat shrink on. It also has a chewed start button. The shell is the worst out of all of them. I also used the worst screws. In fact, two of the screws, there was a screw that was completely stripped that we took out of this one, or one of them. That caused this damage, and here, trying to get that out, that was completely stripped. There was another one that I put it in, it wasn't completely stripped, but it was darn near close to being completely stripped. And then I think that I didn't really tighten these guys too much because I just need to replace all these screws. These were the worst screws out of the lot. So it's not, there's only 4 in here. I think it should be enough to test it, which we can see. We have start. Down is a little iffy. Down is the one that I was worried about to begin with. Because this is the one that the carbon on the board is, why is it not working now? Well, start's not working. Start was working just fine a minute ago. I wonder is this the one that was like wired up funny? Because there was that one too that I didn't remember checking. So did I actually hit 2? I might have hit 2 players accidentally. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, the D-pad is not very responsive. None of the buttons are, actually. It could also be I did not. So this one also has membranes that were ripped. The D-pad membrane and the AB membranes were both ripped. But I figured it would still kind of work. But I didn't clean the membranes on these because they're still broken. Because they were ripped and I didn't want to rip them even more. They were barely hanging on. So that could be why why these aren't very responsive too. We also, I am going to buy replacements, so I'll probably get screws and replacements and then fully reassemble this guy. But yeah, I don't know about if that's even going to fix because of the carbon. Those pads are so bad. Yeah, this guy, obviously this guy is in the worst of shape. So we do have three out of the 4 are working, I would say, perfectly, in all honesty. And then this 4th one here is, I think it might be salvageable. I don't know, but we had one that was completely unusable when we started, but we had only one that was totally usable when we started as well. I think. I know that they were kind of iffy. Some of them were kind of iffy, and one of them, like I said, didn't work at all. Now that is fully and completely our Nintendo refreshed. That's not this one specific. I mean, they're all refreshed. All three of the 4 are refreshed. This is not my good Nintendo. That's downstairs, and I will take the good controllers and put them now with the good Nintendo. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Hopefully next week we can get back to that Model 1 and get it fixed. I should be getting either get it fixed or get it diagnosed. It's gonna be like the Game Boy DMG, where either if I can't fix it, then I'm gonna end up. I still want to be able to diagnose the actual issue, and that might involve doing chip swaps and then just to see what chip it is that's not working, if it is a chip. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we can return to that next week. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.